Howdy, it's Mangy Fedlocks here. I'm sheltering in my basement. I'm not shaking hands with anybody, and I'm washing my hands often. And I hope you're doing the same because I want you to be safe. Because, geez, you know, if you're not, who's going to listen to these videos? So I was listening to Donald Trump. He day after day he's been giving these new press conferences. He's pretty excited about that because he can't hold a rally, so he kind of turns that into one where he just says pretty much anything that comes to his head. And he says, pretty soon we might be using, we're going to make it possible to use Accutane, which is for pimples. And we're going to start using that to cure the coronavirus. And then he said next we'd be using that Outgrow, which is for toenail things. He said because those are all ideas that he come up with all by himself. And then Mike Pence gets up there, and Mike Pence is fawning over him, and he says, oh, geez, we are so lucky because Donald Trump foresaw this whole thing early, and he got right on it, which was not the case at all. And then if you let Mike Pence talk long enough, he'll be thanking Donald for dying on the cross to save us from our sins. Because Mike Pence will do and say pretty much anything if it's expedient, you know, to either keep his job or like he said one time that smoking cigarettes, there was no real tie to cancer with that, you know, because the tobacco industry told him, Mike, it'd be nice if you'd say that, which he did. So anyway, I got a new little song called Kiss That Bottom, and hope you like it. Kiss that bottom, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Well, there ain't no proof that cancer comes from smoking cigarettes. Praise Lord Jesus, coronavirus sneezes are just God's way of showering his best bone spur cadet. Well, it's pretty clear that old Mike Pence is worried he'll be dumped. He's fawning over Trump way more than ever. He wishes that just like the flag by Donald, he'll be humped. And so to save his job, he must be clever. And he sings, kiss that bottom and smoke 'em if you got 'em. Well, there ain't no proof that cancer comes from smoking cigarettes. Praise Lord Jesus, coronavirus sneezes are just God's way of showering his best bone spur cadet. Though Trump is antithetical to Christian values all, Mike finds it in his heart to overlook it. Because by being VP, the end times he'll help the call. So though the job is vile, he's glad he took it. And he says, kiss that bottom and smoke 'em if you got 'em. Well, there ain't no proof that cancer comes from smoking cigarettes. Praise Lord Jesus, coronavirus sneezes are just God's way of showering his best bone spur cadet. To work for Donald Trump, you need the patience of a saint. His moral compass points him straight to Satan. And Pence acts so supportive, never voicing a complaint. While for a bolt of lightning, he keeps waiting. The praise that Pence bestows on Trump breaks forth just like a flood of cow shit that is spread upon a field. You'd think he was describing miracles straight down from God. Such sycophancies usually concealed. 2, 3, 4. Kiss that bottom and smoke 'em if you got 'em. Well, there ain't no proof that cancer comes from smoking cigarettes. Praise Lord Jesus, coronavirus sneezes are just God's way of showering his best bone spur cadet. Hey! I hope you like that, and I hope Mike Pence enjoys that one. Thanks.
Hello, I'm from the government with an urgent message about the coronavirus. We know many of you are confused. Some say it's no big deal. Italians are freaking out. The Chinese are hiding out. And Aussies seem to think the virus attacks your butthole. Medical experts have coined a scientific term to describe the situation we're now facing, a shit show. It's important to note that the shit show isn't caused by the virus itself, which we can manage, but rather by dangerous levels of egregious dumb fuckery spreading about the virus. Through forensic analysis, experts have traced the path of the dumb f***ery back to this malignant funnel, who said he's not worried about corona since it's no worse than the flu. One of the symptoms of dumb f***ery includes not understanding simple math, leading many to laugh off this virus for only having a death rate of about 2%. Since experts say the US alone could have 96 million cases, 2% of that comes to approximately a lot of f***ing dead people. Of course, the death rate is much higher among older people. This has been largely dismissed due to another symptom of dumb f***ery, not caring about the elderly, or as experts call it, being an asshole. If left unchecked, this show can drastically worsen the impact of coronavirus by overwhelming a country's healthcare services. For example, the US only has 1 million hospital beds. Oh, and face masks will probably run out too. So as doctors and nurses get infected, there could also be a shortage of them. When you combine all that with a government that has no regard for science, a vastly uninsured workforce without sick leave, and millions of guns, you get what experts call a munted show. To avoid a munted show in your country, experts are now advising governments worldwide to be the exact opposite of America. If you're not already infected by dumb f***ery, we ask you to spread this graph among your friends and family. Instead of bullshit memes, it shows how by flattening the contagion curve we can slow down the spread of the virus so our hospitals and carers can cope. You can help flatten the curve by practicing hand hygiene, avoiding large gatherings, and phoning your doctor if you develop symptoms. Delaying the spread even by a month could prevent thousands of deaths, and not just corona deaths. It also means fewer deaths due to any emergencies requiring hospital care, which could mean you or your loved ones. And remember, if you do run out of toilet paper, Rupert Murdoch produces a wide range of bog roll replacements worldwide. This has been a message from your local government franchise. Goodbye. Authorized by the Department for Responding to Global Emergencies when they threaten the stock market.
Sequence starts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from downtown Manchester, New Hampshire at WMNH 95.3 FM. Also streaming at WMNHradio.org. And we are on the Facebook, on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. And it is Wednesday, March 25, the year of our Lord and the year of our Unix 2020. And I am not alone, my friends.
If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band. That lead guitar is hot, but not for Louisiana man. So rosin up that bowl for faded love and let's all dance. If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band.
Oh yeah, there he is, Texas Mike, also known as Michael Martineau. How are you, sir?
Doing good.
Welcome. Yes, we were going to have Dr. No was going to be joining us here today in the studio, but he had another emergency to tend to, which is understandable. You know, he is a doctor after all. And normally, you know, we'd have multiple people on at the same time anyway. It doesn't matter, but we are currently trying to severely limit the number of people who are coming in and out of here. So basically, for now, for the time being, I'm just having one guest at a time. You know, the exception, of course, being if both Dr. No and Dr. Sanchez can be here at the same time, you know, that we make an exception for because they are medical professionals who come in to, you know, try to help educate us all and keep us up to date on what's going on. But Dr. No couldn't make it. And so I said, Texas Mike, you know, you are a former tag team champion along with Blackjack Mulligan. So it's an honor to have you. Is that a replica of your tag team championship belt there?
No, it's not. It's a championship medal for the basketball team, for the A-side basketball team, the only men's basketball national championship this year.
Wow.
Because all the other tournaments got canceled due
Yes.
to... Yeah.
Yes.
We were able to get our tournament done in time.
Ooh.
Yeah,
wow.
so...
Well, very good.
And that was 2 weeks ago today.
Well, congratulations. And we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, it's Scumpy.
Jeff Scumpy Lorenz, how are you? Boy, I'll tell you what, you retired from performing live music just in the nick of time, didn't you?
Oh, you're not kidding, man. Things are crazy. Still working hard, though.
Yeah. So you're still working. That's
But
good.
I want to fill you in. We're actually, the Concord move is coming this Saturday.
Right. So your personal move or the move of the company that you work for?
Both. But personal move, yeah, finally got my own place up in Concord, and we're headed up Saturday.
Wow.
In fact, I get the weekend off because I'm moving.
So you're going to be up in the White Mountains of Concord, way up north, almost in,
way up north, like Peter White says, way up in DEFCON country.
You're going to be practically in Montreal.
But pretty, maybe Quebec, Montreal, yeah. Maybe Vancouver, way over there, too. I don't know.
Right.
Way
Oh,
up,
yeah.
way up.
Way up. Yes. Wow. Yeah. All right. So obviously,
it's about a 17-minute ride.
Oh, okay. Well, yes. So,
yeah, that's far.
So now what's, obviously everything's on hold. Well, with everything, right? With the acting as well. But, are you?
Oh, yeah, everything is, we had a premiere that was supposed to be, this last Saturday, and, they moved it to May.
Yeah.
For the dinner party, and, in the series, we did the first episode. They were going to show that too. First hour, they're doing 6 of them. Yeah, they got moved out to May. Everything's moving around. No one's going anywhere.
Right.
They're keeping me busy though, because I got to keep these stores stocked with meat. So
that's right. And meat is currently hard to come by.
And it's crazy. Everywhere I go, I got to wash my hands everywhere. I got to wear gloves everywhere.
Yep.
I get back to the shop because there's so many drivers. We can't be in contact with any other drivers because they've been all over the place, and it's just crazy. It's a whole new world.
Yeah. Oh, it is. A whole new world. But this too shall pass, my friend.
Right. It shall pass, and hopefully nobody we know, and we all stay healthy, and it'll be good.
Yes. When this is all over, are you still going to do like a big final show with DEFCON?
Yeah. Well, it's in the works. They're going to do a show with the bars. We're going to do it's going to be an old zoo reunion show. It goes way back to when the zoo was around, and there was a few bands that we played there all the time, and we're trying to put something together like that. It'll be a little cover, but it'll be jammed.
There used to
be we got like 500 responses that want to go already, so we just don't know exactly where to have it yet.
Right, or when, obviously, because we don't know exactly when this will be over.
We're thinking probably, the Deerhead has that outdoor thing in the summer, and then you can put like 1,000 people back there. That'd probably be the place to do it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do it outdoor. They can do barbecue. We can have food and all kinds of good, cool stuff going on.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully, it'll be. We'll be able to have access to meat and toilet paper by then.
Right.
That'll be exciting. Well, very good.
But I already have a neighbor. I have a neighbor. He used to be our light and sound guy back in the 80s. We call him Kenny Metal. He lives he's like 2 minutes from our house. He lives up in Concord. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
He rides a motorcycle, so I get together with him, go for rides on the weekends. And the golf course is right next door, 4 blocks away.
Stefan
Philbrook. It'll be good.
Stefan Philbrook, who is a top fan, joins us in the Facebook live chat. He says, "Yo, Stumpy." I assume he means Scumpy, unless he knows something we don't. Do it at the Auburn Pits. So he's suggesting that for a venue, the Auburn
Right.
Pits.
The Auburn Pits is another one too because they have that outdoor stage. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
put a lot of people back in that yard. That's actually a good spot too.
Yeah, Scumpy, I know the owner, so I could.
Ooh.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Mikey Marno might be the agent for this.
Ooh, Easy G is going to be jealous. He likes to be the one with all the connections
Oh,
in
boy.
the entertainment
Oh,
industry. Yes.
You make
yes.
all kinds of dough being an agent.
No, that's a cool place to play outdoors. Yeah, I've played
They
at
make more than the
Auburn
bands
Pits.
do.
What's that? What'd you say, Scott?
Oh, you get enough bands, the agents make more than the bands. You get about 10 bands under your
sure.
belt, and you book them everywhere, you make a fortune.
That's why they call it the Great Rock and Roll Swindle.
Oh, man, the Rock and Roll Texas band. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, you're going to have some Texas
Well,
bands?
Mikey, actually, if you could talk to the guy up there, get a little information for me and let me know what's going on. That'd be good.
Yep. I can do that.
Oh,
So, just give me a contact number and a name. I thought it was what's his name? You know his name?
Carmen Jamatuzzi.
Carmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carmen. Yes, I have played there before. Yeah, I just got his name. Yeah.
yeah. Stefan in
I
the
do know. I have met Carmen. Yes.
Stefan in the Facebook live chat says, "Hey, Mikey, everyone knows Carmen. Auburn Pits is the one that caters Megapalooza every year.
Yep. Magapalooza.
Oh, Maggie Palooza. Yeah,
Magapalooza. Yep.
Magapalooza. Right.
Yeah, they didn't have that last year.
Yeah. Because it was the year that Maggie was gonna graduate high school. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So hopefully they'll have one this year. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, I think they probably haven't really set up by now because it's usually in early June, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. I mean, everything's kind of on hold right now. Anyway,
Yeah.
as far as I don't think anyone's really planning anything. At the moment.
Oh yeah, any bands out there that are relying on the money for the gigs, man, they're out of luck right now.
Oh yeah, it's been devastating. Well, it's been devastating to so many people, but that's the entertainment industry is of course one of the sectors of the economy that's really hit hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, no sports, unbelievable. Well, you know what, the professional sports, the athletes, it's a nice thing. Some of the teams are donating their money to pay the people that work at their stadiums and arenas.
Yeah,
I think that's fantastic. They have the money to do it.
right.
I think that's fantastic. But how about all these club owners getting together and paying the bands that usually play their clubs that they can't play anymore?
Well, I don't think that's going to happen. I think all the
it's not.
I mean, the club owners. To be fair, though, the club owners themselves. I mean, they're obviously struggling too. They have no business.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You couldn't beat the club owners. Oh God, it'd have to be a fan base thing.
Yeah. No.
Help the bands pay for their practice space, so we can keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. It sucks all the way around. Stefan says, yeah, it's too hard to plan for June with all that's going on, or possibly throwing around doing something we're possibly throwing around doing something in September, which is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. Oh, that would be appropriate. Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'd be into doing like a set there if I could get the guys together to do a set.
Right.
I mean, we know enough stuff that we've been doing for years, and I've been doing for years, and we could always put together like probably an hour worth of real good stuff. So.
Well, what you should do then is you should talk to Mikey Martineau here. Now that he's apparently your new agent, have him talk to Stefan about playing.
I'll tell you what. If you have my phone number on there, give it to Mikey Martineau. Maybe he can give me a call.
Yeah, I don't actually have your phone number, Scumpy.
Yeah, you should too.
Yes. Well, you could message it to me.
I'd like to give it to you, but I don't want to give it to you on the air.
Right. That would be unwise because then you'll have groupies calling you. You'll have
yeah. All the people that hate me. Oh boy, who's that guy?
The paparazzi trying to hunt you down. It would be a disaster. Yeah, you don't ever want to. You don't ever want to do that on the air.
I'm loved by all.
You are. That's what makes you Scumpy.
That's right.
Yes.
Except for the guy that's going to be out in Oregon. He doesn't like me too much, I guess. I don't know.
The guy in Oregon. Oh, the guy.
Remember the guy in Oregon? There's one more Scumpy out there. He's out in Oregon.
I forgot all about him. Yes, we were going to do something about.
Boy.
We were going to do something about that, and I completely forgot. We were going to do something to destroy him, so that you would be the only Scumpy, like the Highlander. In the end, there can be only one.
Yeah, if he just changes his I to a Y, that'd be fine. I'm good with that.
Well, that'd be kind of feminine, right? It'd be like, I don't know. Not that there's any such thing as gender anymore. I don't want to be on PC.
Right.
He could be gender fluid, as could we all, I guess.
But anyway, guys, tell Peter and stuff, because I can't call his show because I'm usually today I was down in like Beverly and Peabody and all that stuff today.
Right.
I just got back at 3:30, which is I left at 6. It wasn't a bad day. It was a good day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what's great, man? I'll tell you what. The traffic. You go down to Massachusetts, 93, and going down and back. There's no traffic.
I know. Yeah, it's made.
I'm on full speed everywhere.
Yeah. Does your day go quicker because of that? It must, right? You must be done delivering.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. You get to your stops quicker, but today it's one of those things today where like you have to always check on, like, they give you an iPad.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of places, you're going to pick up here. And I'm going, oh, Christ, I just left that. I was 10 minutes from there. Now I'm a half hour from there.
Oh.
And then, oh, geez, I got to pick up there now. Oh, geez, and I was just 10 minutes from there.
Yeah.
I'm an hour from there.
Yeah.
You know? So I had a couple of pickups today that kind of slowed me down. I would have done early, but I like the hours. I need the hours now.
Yeah.
They're actually giving most of the drivers have a day off during the week now.
Oh.
So you want the long driving days, and I like to get 4 or 10-hour days in anyways, and then I'm still doing well.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. That's good.
But they're keeping us busy though. They're making sure we're all working. It's
good. Now that's what counts. That's more than a lot of people can say right now. That's for sure.
Yep.
So,
yep.
God love you.
All right, guys. I'll let you go. Matt, love you. Mikey, I'll talk to you.
Yep.
All right, Scumpy. Thank you so much for the call, my friend. Be safe out there.
All right, peace. Love you guys.
All right, you too, man. Bye-bye. All right, the great Jeff Scumpy Lorenz of the band Def Con. And sounds like Texas Mike over here is going to be doing some agent work.
I guess so.
Oh, boy. You're not going to move in on Easy G's gig with Amanda McCarthy, are you?
No.
How awesome would that be if you were suddenly her agent?
That would never happen. I know that for a fact, but
right.
But everybody's getting hit hard right now.
Yes.
Like myself. To be honest, I don't know when I'm gonna work again. To be honest, right now.
Right.
With my down to my 2 jobs now, basically both of them are event based. So don't know when Fisher-Cat's gonna start or that their season's gonna get delayed.
Yeah.
And then Snow Arena, like every event's been pushed back. So it's like,
yeah.
So I'm just in a holding pattern right now, staying safe.
Yep.
Doing minimum travel.
Yep.
Just trying to live healthy and just moved too. So so I'm on the other side of the city now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and of course we know you're. We did put you through that screening. When you arrived at the building today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the thing with the thermometer. It is necessary.
Yes.
And the guy working the door insists on doing it old school. And he did forget to bring his gloves today, so I apologize for that too. But we have to take these precautions,
Yep.
Texas Mike.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yes, you do.
Yes, yes. Stefan says, hey, is Scumpy still a forever Trumper with all this going on in his misguidance? Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that while Scumpy was still on the line. Although Scumpy, I will give him credit. He is MAGA. However, he is not afraid to criticize Trump when he feels Trump has done something wrong. He's one of the few. We'll get caught up with everybody in the Facebook live chat. I do see. Oh, Michael Martineau's in there.
Yep.
Andy's here. Ed Murphy also joins us in there. Wayne Noel, all the way from Michigan. Hello, Wayne. Brian Mackey shouts out to Texas Mike there. Hello, Brian. Brian is in Idaho. Wayne says good afternoon. Wayne is also a top fan, by the way. Jenny is in the Facebook live chat. Hello, as well as Mike Pelopita, who says good afternoon. The great Paul Cormier, also known as Paulie C, is in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Paul. Mike Pelopita says Texas Mike in the house. Christian Collins from Ohio joins us. Tom Blanchard is in the Facebook live chat. Brian says hello to everybody. Gianna, also known as Gia, is in the Facebook live chat. She hosts a great show online called Blunt Force. Great podcast you can check out. Mike Pelopita says, I watched the non-bleeped version. It's awesome. Yeah, Mike is referring to one of the things I played at the top of the show today was a new, they're on YouTube under Juice Media. They do these ads called Honest Government, and they're very, very funny. I had to, I whenever they release a new one, I usually play it, but I have to make a radio edit of it because there's a bunch of swears in it that I have to bleep out. So Mike is referring to the non-bleeped version that he watched online.
What was the song you played before that?
Oh, yes. That was The Lonely Ones, a band called The Lonely Ones, and the song was called The Lonely One. Yes, I noticed you were headbanging a little bit there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one I opened with, and then I played something from Mangy Fetlocks called Kiss That Bottom.
Yeah.
And then I played the Honest Government ad. But yeah, that band, The Lonely Ones, they're marketing themselves online as the original social distancers. So trying to capitalize on that. Tony Petrello joins us in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Tony. Let's see. I think we got everybody so far. Brian Mackey says, just ordered stay at home for Idaho. Really? That actually surprises me. I didn't think there were too many cases there. They have not done that here in New Hampshire. They've put restrictions on, like bars and restaurants and so forth. They can only do carryout food, which reminds me, I should remind everyone who doesn't already know, the Hop Knot. There's Texas Mike is holding up the mug there. The Hop Knot, our wonderful sponsor, where you can get delicious gourmet pretzels and so forth, and a lot of other great food too. They are open. They're only doing takeout, so you gotta go there to pick it up. But they are open weekdays and Saturday from 12 to 5. So just for the afternoon. But they are open for business, and please continue to support them. We're very honored and privileged to have them as a sponsor. And I mentioned this yesterday, but I'll reiterate it. Anything that you can do to help, whether it be the Hop Knot or any restaurants or bars that you usually go to that you want to support. One way to do that's really caught on. A lot of folks are doing this is buying gift cards or gift certificates at those places that you'll be able to use later if you want to dine in. When everything gets back to normal. That's a great way to kind of push a little bit of cash in the direction of these places that are obviously just devastated by what is happening right now. So, anything that you can do to help those businesses stay open. They've had to, most of them, I think, have probably had to lay off a huge number of their staff and just run kind of bare bones as far as, the ones that have stayed open and are doing takeout. And of course, some of them have just had to shutter completely. It's really, really awful. So anything that you can do to help those businesses is fantastic.
Imagine if I hadn't got laid off by the farm. See where I would be now. So
yeah, you would have ended up getting laid off anyway.
Yeah,
that's true. That is true. Brian Mackey says, "Me too." I think referring to his the surprise of Idaho telling people to stay home. Yeah, they haven't done that in New Hampshire, and Governor Sununu, who I think is just doing a great job with this. And I enjoy his press briefings. I think he's, and Karen had called the show yesterday, and we talked about that too, and kind of contrasting his performance with that of President Trump a bit, who's sending some very strange mixed messages. But Governor Sununu, I think, has been excellent. I think he's been consistent. Very reassuring. He's smart. He's articulate. And I feel very good about him being in charge of the state. in a time like this, and I really get the sense that he's got a handle on it, and he's been saying that he doesn't see a need to do any kind of shelter-in-place order here in New Hampshire because he feels that for the most part, and obviously you're going to find exceptions, but for the most part, New Hampshireites are doing a great job, being careful about social distancing, and you don't see big crowds of people. Not that you would this time of year necessarily anyway, but you don't see crowds of people on the beaches of New Hampshire, just being defiant and whatnot. People are being pretty good about it and really kind of respecting the rules. So he doesn't feel a need to do something further because we're already following the guidelines. And I think he's correct about that. We have the advantage of being, somewhat of a rural state. I mean, here in Manchester, of course, we're in the largest city in the state, but this is considered a small to mid-sized city.
Yes.
We're not a metropolis, unlike say New York City, which has really become the epicenter of the crisis here in the United States. But in New York, I mean, one would expect that to happen. I mean, everybody's so crowded. The streets under ordinary circumstances are just full of people trying to get everywhere, and mass transit. You've got subways packed with people, and of course, I mean, if anywhere we're going to become the epicenter of the crisis here in the U.S., it was going to be New York City. So they're in a terrible, terrible situation. Although I will say Governor Cuomo, again, another one who I think is really doing a great job and really understands how to present both, the idea that, well, it's more than an idea. It's just the way it is, that we have to be, especially them in New York, as it has become the epicenter, New York City, and in other places in the state too, certainly, the need to be so vigilant and really follow the rules and do whatever they can, because they're in real trouble in terms of just ventilators alone is about to be an enormous problem for New York. But he also is able to balance that with optimism and saying to everybody, look, we're New Yorkers. We're going to get through this. No matter what, we're going to get through it, but it's going to be tough. I think he's been doing a great job as well. I had complimented President Trump recently on, the optimism that he presents. But that it's gotten a little weird with this now.
Thinking that all this will be done by Easter. That's not going to happen. To me, in my opinion, it's not going to be done. It's still on the upswing.
Right.
Everybody's taking the precautions that are needed, which is great.
Yeah.
But it's still on the upswing. It's not like cases are going down like cases are going down in other parts of the world. Cases are still growing.
Right.
We just had our first death in New Hampshire. I think it was yesterday, correct?
Yeah, it was either yesterday or the day before. Yeah. Very recent. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still on the upswing. So
yeah,
just take the precautions as needed.
Yep.
And just follow the rules and don't like I'm taking every precaution I can, even if I go out for a walk. It's like just walking down here from my house. It's like I was giving myself enough room, so it's not like I was crowding people. Just taking my time, keeping my distance and whatnot, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. And the hand washing, I mean, that's the biggest thing they stress. Yeah. I mean, if you can, I don't know if you can really, you probably can't tell if you're watching online, but I don't know if you can see, Mikey, but my hands are so dry and cracked because I'm washing them like probably 20 times a day and using hand sanitizer and yeah, they're very red. And that's even with using moisturizer. Not that I'm complaining. I'm not. I mean, it's just what we got to do,
Yep.
It reminds me, though, of when I was a kid. When I was a kid, there were a couple of winters where my hands would get so dry and cracked that at one point my parents took me to the pediatrician, who put me on some sort of prescription moisturizer or something to try to deal with it, because for some reason my hands were just becoming particularly dry. But yeah, it's just what we got to do. And there's such a again, I appreciate that he's optimistic. Let's throw some positive energy at this, sure, but it's a very strange. The mixed messages are just strange, and because nobody agrees with him. Like, it's not like he says that, right? And then Dr. Fauci steps up to the microphone, or Dr. Briggs, is that how you say her name? It's not like one of them steps up to the microphone and says, oh, yeah, that's possible. That's reasonable. We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Easy G.
Easy G, Eric Gagnon. How are you, my friend? Are you healthy? Are you doing well?
Yes, I am. Excuse me. I'm just taking some medicine.
Oh.
Trying to stay healthy. I went out for a few minutes earlier today, but now I'm hunkering down until Friday when I got to go some blood work, because all my other appointments have been canceled.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Are you bitter?
Yeah. Speaking of canceling, if anybody's looking forward to seeing Johnny Bravo this Friday, this Saturday at the DoubleTree Hotel, it's been canceled.
Whoa, are you doing an entertainment report right now? This sounds
just
like
a quickie. Greg Brady is not coming to the DoubleTree Hotel. I know nobody's surprised out there. They canceled it all the way till December 5th and 6th. So hopefully by then the virus will be gone.
Wow.
Talk about kicking it down the road.
All right.
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody out there in the radio world is surprised that he won't be coming this Saturday, because that will attract a lot of people, and
I'm shocked.
Can't have a lot of people in one area.
I'm shocked, Easy G. I thought that was the one thing that would not get canceled no matter what. I know. I was surprised too. So. Peter White's in the Facebook live chat.
Peter White had his own Kenny Rogers story this morning, but I have my own Kenny Rogers story. God rest his soul. Me and my wife at the time, when he came to the came to the Verizon at the time.
Is this another quickie entertainment report?
This is years ago, probably like 2003 or something, or 2005, or right around that area. And it was, sorry, Kenny, but the show was bad. His career wasn't doing very well back then, man.
Oh no. Well, at least he knew when to fold them.
There was only like 2,000 people there.
Only 2,000 people? My goodness.
Yeah, it was kind of a rotten show. He was kind of on the end of his career,
Right.
But I can add him to the list of celebrities that I've seen now that are no longer with us now, like Whitney Houston now, Natalie Cole. I saw her at the in Nashville, I believe it or not, at the Holman Stadium. I saw Whitney Houston at the same place, Holman Stadium.
And now she's dead.
And I saw Kenny Rogers over at the arena.
So the curse continues. Everyone that you see live ultimately dies. Have you ever seen...
No, I've seen a lot of live artists. Oh, my God. I've seen tons, over 100.
Yeah, but they're all going to die eventually, and it'll be because of the curse.
Well, there is a lot of people dying for this virus. It's kind of getting in the way of everyday lives.
It really is.
But I have to agree with Texas Mike, though. I don't think the life is going to get back to normal by Easter. I think it might even take it past my May 1st birthday.
Oh, past your birthday. That would be terrible.
Might take a while.
Aren't you supposed to be here for your birthday with Amanda McCarthy?
Yeah, that might have to be canceled.
That might have to be, or postponed.
Right, because it's still my birthday month, so we might be able to have her on the end of the month. We'll have to wait and see. Right now, that could be canceled too. Yes, I'll have to let her know. Obviously.
Yes. Let her know. She'll be shocked. She'll be like, first Johnny Bravo, and now this. Now Peter White is in the Facebook live chat. Easy G.
But hey, you got to be safe.
Yes.
Like you say, you don't have a lot of people in the studio right now. That was funny earlier when the Peter White show was on early in the morning. And Daryl Dion said, "Is Gonzo coming in tomorrow?" He goes, "No, we don't know where the guy's been."
Well, we'd have to take his temperature. And we do it old school around here, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Which I think...
he's not allowed in the studio right now, son.
Right,
I can understand, though. They don't want a ton of people in the studio right now because of the virus going around.
Now, Peter White says, I lost my virginity the night Kenny played in Manchester in 1985.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that story at least a couple hundred times.
Top that, Easy. Yeah,
He talked about that commercial too. That he said, "Might as well cash in my chips."
Wait a minute. Did you say you've heard Peter tell that story a couple hundred times?
At least that many. Even Carol would say that story about the cash in the chips commercial. He says, "Come on, Peter." He says, "I've heard that story before because those stories never get old."
Listen to you.
I was so tempted to call the radio station, but it was on a replay, so I couldn't do it.
Listen to you being so critical of Peter White, host of the morning show with Peter White.
You can't call. Can you call the show, Matt, when it's on a replay?
No.
No.
Well, on that foolishness, I'll let you go. That's enough of me for one afternoon show. So have a great rest of your show, and be safe and be healthy. Bye-bye.
Thank God Easy G called to tell us that Johnny Bravo show was canceled. I just assumed it was the one thing still going on. Didn't you?
I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I knew about it. I'd kind of forgotten. But my goodness, Easy G keeping us up to date. Now, I still don't know. This is the worst thing about this whole coronavirus thing. That's just thrown everything. It's thrown the entire checkerboard into the air. That's a weird analogy I just made up. I don't know. I still don't know. Do you know, Texas Mike, what the issue is with Peter White and Easy G? Because we were supposed to find out, and then everything went awry. Everything got sideways. I still don't know what the problem is. Do you?
I have no idea, to be honest.
What we could do is we could speculate wildly and irresponsibly about it.
So why don't we do that?
Well, okay. So Easy G brought up that on his birthday, he had asked me if he could bring Amanda McCarthy onto this program on his birthday. Whereas in the past,
it's been on the morning show.
It's been on the morning show.
And I've been present for those, for at least last year's show I was there.
Yes. So is it possible that Peter feels slighted by Easy G because of that?
Maybe he does.
Maybe. I don't think that's what it is, though. I think it's something else. But I still don't know. And Peter hasn't told me. I have to wait, like everyone else, to find out.
Yep.
But we might not know until, if Trump has his way, we might know right after Easter. But no. Let's see. John Midas Manning, also known as DJ Midas, joins us in the Facebook live chat. Midas, of course, hosts Late Night Delight. He's also a part of the WMNH family. You can hear that show every Saturday, beginning at 12 midnight all the way to 4 a.m. with a replay on Sunday night. It's a great show. Midas says, I've been self-quarantined since last Wednesday. Jenny says, the wheels go around on the bus. Might be a reference to Easy G's call. Well, it's all very exciting, my friends. Lots of, so like I was saying before Eric called, Trump is the only one who thinks that we're going to hit that Easter deadline, I think. Because the risk is, so if you just say, okay, well, enough of this, let's get the economy completely restarted again. What's going to happen very quickly is you're just going to see another giant spike.
Yeah.
In new cases. It's an incredible risk. There was a story on CNN, an opinion piece that Matt Egan wrote. Trump wants America reopened by Easter. That could send the U.S. economy into depression. And without reading the whole thing, basically, Egan makes the argument that, that if you do that, you're just going to have additional waves of sickness, and that's going to overwhelm our healthcare system.
Yes.
Which is a very large sector of our economy.
Yes, it is.
Jenny says, yes, the bus Easy rolled over Peter's head. Oh, my goodness. That's true. Can you believe that, by the way? Not to harp on it, but can you believe Easy G calling and criticizing, or maybe criticizing isn't the right word, critiquing Peter's performance as a radio host, talking about how Peter's told that story, the Kenny Rogers story, so many times.
I've personally never heard the story. So
You've never heard the Kenny Rogers story?
No.
Well, I would tell you the story because I've heard it, but it's not my story to tell.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, did you listen to yesterday's morning show? It was the replay of the very first show?
I did not.
Oh, it was pretty cool. Yeah, that was fun to hear. I enjoyed that. And then of course they were back live today. Yeah. The morning show, of course, weekdays 7 to 9 with a replay from 2 to 4 right before this program. I was saying yesterday too, Trump, of course, is worried about, clearly he's worried about his reelection because historically, people place tremendous amounts of credit and or blame on the chief executive in terms of how the economy is doing, because people tend to have kind of a hyper simplified idea of, they think John Hopwood calls it the big man theory, that the president is, in the Oval Office at the desk, manipulating the various levers of the economy at his whim.
Talking about John Hopwood, I actually went for a town named after him on my trip to get this.
Oh.
Hopwood, Pennsylvania.
Hopwood, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
There is did you know there is a giant statue there named for him?
I did not. Or I only passed by it because it basically, Hopwood, Pennsylvania borders the town that I was in when I was there. So.
Right. So you didn't actually go into Hopwood, Pennsylvania.
Or I probably passed through it, but like right on the on-ramp for the exit we were on, it said Hopwood, so I'm like, I'm going to need to take a picture of this and send it to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Why don't we have a Hopwood, New Hampshire? I think we should.
Yeah.
Well, although maybe we do and I just don't know it. There's some very small communities up north that I'll hear about and I'll be like, what? Midas says Trump is worried about his numbers, not the citizens. Referring to Trump being more concerned with the economy than the health of the American people. But it's here's the thing. And I said this at the end of the show yesterday. Just a purely political analysis, taking the ethics and morality out of it for a moment of, what you do about people and health. Just a purely political analysis. Trump, his best gamble would be to proceed as we have and not worry too much about the damage that it's doing to the economy, even though it's tremendous and even though it's devastating, but focus on getting us through this with minimal impact on the healthcare system, if possible, and getting past this as quickly as possible, with the understanding that, yes, it is going to plunge us into recession. There's no doubt about it, and it could be quite bad. But even though, this is what I think, even though historically presidents pay a tremendous price politically for a down economy. One easy example of that being what happened to George H.W. Bush, the first in the 92 election, which, is special to me because that's the first election that I was eligible to vote in when I turned 18. In that election, George H.W. Bush, right after the first Gulf War, where we kicked Saddam out of Kuwait, that went so well and so smoothly. George H.W. Bush had a 90% approval rating after that. And I remember all my friends and I, we were like, oh, he's unbeatable. He's guaranteed a second term. There's no way he can lose. He has a 90% approval rating, which by that metric makes him the most popular president in American history, which sounds counterintuitive, right? He couldn't even win a second term. How can he be the most popular? But by that metric specifically, he is. He has the highest recorded approval rating of any president. And then what happened? The economy falls off a cliff. We go into recession, and his approval rating plummets, and he ends up losing, and Bill Clinton wins the presidency. So we really do, the voters really do hold presidents accountable for how the economy is doing. But I think, so that's obviously what Trump's worried about. He was riding high. He thought he was going to cruise to re-election on a strong economy, taking tremendous credit for it, even though he inherited the strong economy from the Obama administration. But putting that aside, if the economy were to remain strong, Trump stood a great chance of winning re-election. So I'm sure on some level he's panicking, right? So he wants to get this over with and get the economy growing again as quickly as possible. However, my political analysis is this: because this is such an unprecedented, it's unprecedented what we're going through. To have an event like this that essentially just puts, a large percentage of the economy on pause, right? All these layoffs happening at once, millions of people filing for unemployment at once. This is an unprecedented moment in American history. And again, putting aside whatever criticisms we might have of how Trump responded to it initially, in the macro sense, this is not Trump's fault. So I think that if Trump were to go ahead and take the hit on the economy and say, well, nothing I could do about it. We had to, we sort of had to kill the economy to save it in the long run, right? Not kill it, but, you understand what I'm saying. Trump might be the first president in modern American history to be forgiven by the voters for the economy, even though, look, what happened to the economy going into the 92 election was not the fault, in my view, and in the view of many economists. And of course, when you look at these things in hindsight, these analyses change, right? But I think most economists will tell you George H.W. Bush did not wreck the economy during the early 90s. That wasn't his fault, but that's what happened. He was a victim of circumstance. There was a downturn, so on and so forth, right? But he was held accountable. Trump might be, because of this circumstance, which again is unprecedented, Trump might be the first American president who can get away with saying, it's not my fault, and having his constituents believe him, and might actually be able to make the argument. And it's hard for him to make any kind of cogent argument because he's shockingly inarticulate. But if his surrogates can make the argument for him that, look, this was an unprecedented event, but going into this, the economy was humming along. It was doing very well. Now you need to elect me to a second term so that I can shepherd the economy into a new era of prosperity and help revive the economy. That is the argument that might actually work. That might actually work. Again, I'm taking my own feelings out of it, and I'm taking the morals and ethics around the healthcare part of it out of it. This is a purely political analysis. But if I were advising him, that's what I would tell him. I would say, Mr. President, forget this talk about Easter, the current situation, and perhaps even new restrictions if necessary. We need to stay on course with this for as long as it takes, and damage to the economy be damned. And your argument will have to be that you alone, sir, are the only one who can lead us out of this and back to prosperity. That's, if I were advising him, that's what I would tell him, because the alternative is actually going to be worse for him. Because the alternative is, okay, we say enough is enough with quarantining and people staying home and businesses closing and whatnot. Everybody back to normal, and we'll just take whatever happens as far as people getting sick and dying. That is the far more disastrous course for Trump, in my opinion, because while I think he has a shot, a legitimate shot, at being the first modern American president to be forgiven for the performance of the economy because of this unprecedented event, he is sure to lose re-election if he says, okay, screw it, we're just going to put everything back, consequences be damned, and our healthcare system is completely crushed under the weight of what's coming as the illness continues to spread to millions and millions of people across the country. And we have a very sick populace. That is what will destroy Trump's chances at re-election. That course. So it's nuts for him. And you're going to see wave after wave of new illnesses, of new diagnoses. And look, like I said yesterday, our healthcare system's going to get crushed anyway. It is coming. So we kind of have to make a choice here. Do we want our healthcare system to be crushed? Or do we want our healthcare system to be crushed and then ground into dust? Well, if those are our choices, I go with, I vote for, well, our healthcare system is going to be crushed and we're going to have to do the best we can. And that's remaining, staying the course that we're on. But again, if we just say, oh, okay, screw it, and just put everything back, and this illness spreads to millions and millions of people, and millions of people are getting severely ill because of it, then it's going to be our healthcare system is crushed and ground into dust. So I don't know if they've already had I don't think they have yet, their press briefing today, because Texas Mike can look that up for us. He is at the news desk after all. But yesterday it was already in progress when I got off the air. And Trump, to his credit, I mean, Trump has been doing these every day. But, if Trump keeps talking about Easter or talking about, well, we got to put the economy first ahead of people's health, which he hasn't said overtly, but that's what he's kind of hinting at. That will be disastrous for him, in my opinion. That will be absolutely disastrous. Hello to Karen Kubit, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. What'd you find there, Texas Mike?
Haven't found anything yet. Yeah.
So they must not have started it yet for today. Did you find out if there was a Hopwood, New Hampshire?
There's not.
There is not.
There's not.
But there should be.
There should be. Basically, there's only 4 places in the world named Hopwood.
Oh. Only 4?
Yeah. Hopwood, Pennsylvania, 2 in the United Kingdom, and then 1 in Australia.
Ah. Very good. Although I heard the one in Australia burned to the ground in the forest fires. I'm kidding. I made that up. Hello to Robert Dion, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. By the way, there's a brand new episode I noticed of Through the Stage Door, Rob Dion's show here at WMNH on the website, WMNHradio.org, where, in fact, all the shows are archived. Brian Mackey says they usually start at 3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, he hadn't started yet. Yesterday's was later. Maybe he's busy arguing with Dr. Fauci. Rob Dion says, happy hump day, everyone. I fell asleep, LOL. We'll have to catch up. We'll have to catch the first hour on the replay. And hello to Mary LeMay of the program Cruisin' with Mary. Well, it is the top of the hour, my friends, and I think we should probably take a quick break. I should play this Heather Pearson song, which is a lot of fun. Are you, yeah, it's called the Toilet Song. Are you sticking around, Texas Mike?
Yes, I am.
You don't have a job to go to currently. All right, well, very good. So we're going to take a break. There's more Matt Connarton Unleashed. We are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. So stick around. And here's some Heather Pearson.
Good hygiene is essential, and it offers the potential to safeguard one's health and others too. When widespread cooperation becomes the new vocation, then healthy habits see us all through. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and we are called to forego familiar pleasures. When the stores are all out of bathroom tissue, it can bring up a very touchy issue. What will I use when I poo? How will I clean up number 2? I could go another way and install a new bidet and do like Europeans do when they do. How will I clean up my rump every time I have to take a dump? Those who thought only of themselves have cleaned out all the shelves. So what's a dirty bottom soul to do? Oh, what will I use when I poo? On the throne, I might get stuck with wet wipes or pine cones, but I must be mindful of the septic, lest my landlord be apoplectic, and I don't want him getting in my shoes. Oh, what will I use when I'm in the loo? Oh, what will I use when I poo?
Open up the champagne, pop. Wash your hands, come on, soap it up, Hear a cough in the night, pandemic begins. This is not like before when the flu came in. Get your ass back at home, don't care where you've been. So you're feeling alright, you can still spread this. Sometimes you gotta stay in. It don't matter where you live. Stay in your damn house. Wash your face and hands down. Take a social time out. You don't have to go out. Stay in your damn house. We can take control now. We can slow it all down if you don't have to go out. Stay in your damn house. Stay in your damn house. Morning comes, you survived at your first night in. Cancel plans, Skype with friends, quarantine this shit. Clean your place and the things that you frequently touch. In the grand scheme of things, it's not asking much. This time you gotta stay in. Because we all wanna live. And now we know what this is. So now we gotta stay in your damn house. Make a charming ball gown. Drink until you fall down. You don't have to go out. Stay in your damn house. Blaze right through your 8th ounce. Watch reruns of Full House if you don't have to go out. Stay in your damn house. Stay in your damn house. Stay in your damn house. Just stay home.
Joining us now is Vice President and dance captain of the Coronavirus Task Force, Mike Pence. Mike, give us your assessment of where we are right now with the coronavirus, which Donald Trump has recently started calling the Hillary flu, or in medical terminology, Obamatitis Nancius pilosis, or Cofifi-19.
All of our experts tell us, and they advise the president as he endorsed these guidelines to avoid social gatherings of more than 10 people. Everyone should stay home. All of those recommendations are part and parcel.
I'm sorry, you want us to stay home? Oh, I wish that I could help you, sweetie, but my schedule is crazy right now. I've got Pilates after work. I've got brunch on Sunday. Oh, and next week is Passover, so I'm in Cancun for the annual Blacklight Underwear Foam Party. I already bought those tickets.
What we're pleased to learn is being embraced by states and communities and millions of American families are what we believe is important for every American to significantly impact the spread of the coronavirus.
I have always led such an active life. I'm a social butterfly and kind of a whore. But this COVID spread now is running rife. And my country needs me, so I won't be anymore. I will break the chain. I will social distance, though it sounds mundane. Though I'll be a grouch, my community now relies on me.
Thank you for your efforts.
I will save the human race by lying on my couch. I'll stay home from work for 1,000,000 days. I will order Grubhub and I'll eat by myself. I will shop online, let my FOMO blaze. I will do my duty till there's Charmin on the shelf. I will crush the curve. I will social distance. I'll be here to serve. While I'm watching Disney Plus, there are lives to save, so I must be brave. I'll defeat the enemy by binging This Is Us. Like my ancestors before me who were called to Vietnam, I'll sit home all day and FaceTime with my mom.
And we need every American to step forward and recognize that if we act now, we can limit the spread of the coronavirus significantly and ultimately save lives.
I will save the day while I clean my closets. I will skip the gym till this plague has passed from 6 feet away. I will social distance. Back up. Sorry. I will do home manicures until we're safe at last.
We can limit the spread of the coronavirus significantly and ultimately save lives.
We will crush the curve. We will turn the tide. But for now, just suck it up and stay the fuck inside. I'm so bored.
Within 2 weeks, there will be major cities quarantined in a giant biological warfare drill. We're being murdered. Most of you are going to be dead soon. They're going to kill you and your family. And most of us are already dead. We'll all be getting cancer soon. We'll all be sterile soon. It's over. You're dead already. You don't like giving your little boys transgender drugs? How about we just kill you, everybody? Like, we tried to just let you die quietly, but since you didn't, you've chosen the path of pain. But the people doing this that serve the fallen one, Satan, who's very real and wants to destroy you and your family forever. I felt sorry for the people attacking me. Because, I mean, I'm like an insane killer ape. Because, I mean, I'm like an insane killer ape. Like an insane killer ape. You're gonna burn it out. 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 I'm just saying, you kill me, I kill you. Because Judgment Day is here. I need sleepy time right now. That nice place I go to when I'm asleep.
Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street. And welcome back, everybody. We are well into hour number 2, numero dos, Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, streaming at WMNHradio.org. And we're on the Facebook, on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. And it is Wednesday, March 25, the year of our Lord and the year of our eunuchs, 2020. The number to call is 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also send a text to 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connarton, or send an email to matt@ipmnation.com. And Texas Mike is also here as well, over there at the news desk. I can hear your medal there, Quentin. Yeah. Yes. Well, very good. Which is the bigger honor, receiving that or the tag team championship with Blackjack Mulligan back in the early 1970s?
This
really
winning the national championship.
Wow, that's okay. All right, I thought you were going to say the other thing, but that's okay. You got a bunch of, don't you have a bunch of like medals and trophies and stuff? I mean, I know you don't like to brag.
Yeah, but, I got a bunch, and it's awesome to now to have. I've won a city championship back in 5th grade over at Smith Road School.
Yeah.
And then I've won 2 state championships, coaching at Central for their basketball team back in 2014 and 2016, both as an assistant coach. And then I've won so many conference championships with ACI between the softball team and men's basketball team. And then to finally win a national championship is awesome, though. This championship is only the 3rd national championship in school history.
Oh.
And only 2nd as a team. Because basically, our men's basketball team won it back in 2005, and then we had a women's cross-country runner win the cross-country championship for national organization as an individual. Like, she was the individual champion. Yeah. Then now we've got another. So we got a banner, and it was an awesome trip.
Right. Well, you've won quite a few awards there, Texas Mike, and I do congratulate you. But but let me just ask you something though. Have you ever won something as prestigious as nicest host?
I have not.
I did win nicest host. I am an award-winning host.
Yes, you are.
Yes, not even a show awarded me nicest host. You know how I won that award there?
For being nice?
Yes, for being nice. I'm a nice host.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. You know why I say thank you?
Because you appreciate the praise.
Yes, and because I'm nice. Hello to Ellie Chakas, or is it Chakas or Chakas? She actually phonetically explained it one day. Ellie in the Facebook live chat. And hello to Veronette March, who also joins us on the Facebook. Dr. No was supposed to be coming back to join us today, but he had to attend to, well, he's a doctor. He's a busy guy, especially in these times. By the way, I did play a clip earlier of the great Alex Jones Did you find his words comforting, Texas Mike? The words of Alex Jones. Did he help soothe and calm any concerns that you might have?
I was always soothing. I was always calm.
You were already calm.
Yeah.
So you didn't need to hear his dulcet tones explaining about we're all going to die. You didn't require that. You were already calm.
Yes.
Good for you. I feel like generally people are calm. I feel, I've been saying on the show, I feel like the general attitude, the general vibe in the country, with some exceptions, of course, like when you see people fighting over toilet paper. But I feel like the general vibe in the country is one of calm and optimism, and people are kind of like, yeah, this whole thing really, 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 really sucks, but we're going to get through it.
Yep.
We're going to get through it together. No, that song? Wherever you go, wherever, or something like that. I don't know. I shouldn't sing very much of it because I don't know much of it either. But I do feel like that is the general vibe. Do you know anyone who's sick or who is quarantined?
I know a bunch of people who have been in contact with a person who has it. Especially in New York City. So
yeah, of course, yeah. I believe 40% of the COVID-19 cases in the country are in New York City, if I'm not mistaken, or at least in New York City. I think it's New York City specifically. 40%. So it really has become the epicenter of the crisis. It's amazing. It's but like I was saying earlier, it's not surprising given how packed in people are there. And when during normal times, of course, you see the streets are always very crowded with people, even late at night. And, and all the mass transit, people packed into the subways and so forth. Mike Pelopita says, you have a beautiful voice, Matt. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate my dulcet tones, as I often like to break out in song. I probably should have been a Broadway actor. I think I might have missed my calling. What do you think, Texas Mike?
You seem like you'll be a good karaoke singer.
Oh, I hate karaoke.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like drunk people butchering popular songs. Yeah. Like, I don't just not like it. Like, I actively hate it. Like, the thought of it makes me angry, which isn't very nice. I should put that away. I should put away my anger if I want to maintain my status as nicest host. Did I mention that I'd won the award of nicest? I did.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, you did.
All right, okay. Just checking. Just to make sure. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but, I am an award-winning host, having won that. Like, officially. Like, I'm award-winning. I can say that now. Like, I could put that on my resume.
Yes.
Award-winning talk show host, Matt Connarton. I mean, I don't have, like, a fancy trophy or anything, or even a certificate that I can print out. But still, I mean, it counts.
Yes, it does.
Thank you. And you know why I said thank you?
Because you accept the praise that I'm giving you.
Well, of course. And because I'm nice.
Yeah, yes, you are.
Thank you. Yes. Brian Mackey says, nicest host cannot be angry. That's true. Although sometimes I do get very angry. Mike Pelopita says, perhaps you and Texas Mike could do a duet. Oh, that's a great idea. What do you want to sing, Texas Mike? We could try to, maybe we could harmonize. Maybe Ebony and Ivory. Do you know that one? That'd be a nice song. No? What about You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin'?
The titles you're coming up with are drawing a blank to me.
I'd like to do ideally more of the Hall & Oates version and not so much the Righteous Brothers version. Let's see. Well, okay, so you don't know those. What's another popular duet? What about oh boy. Trying to think of something. Oh. I don't know. Well, John Hopwood and I have duetted, but it's never gone well. It's always been a terrible calamity. What would be a good duet for us to sing together? I think it would be nice. I think we could, and then when all this blows over and you can perform live, we could perform at live places and we could probably be famous. Oh, Mike Pelopita recommends Islands in the Stream. Of course, popularized by Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. I'd be willing to sing the Dolly Parton part. No. I mean, Kenny Rogers just died, so it'd be a nice thing to do. Jenny recommends YMCA. That's not really a duet, though. Brian Mackey says Beth by Kiss, but that's also not a duet. We need a duet. Or what's that song? The bird flies up where we belong. Isn't that like Chris Christopherson and somebody? Maybe like a hip-hop duet. Like, do you know Money Ain't a Thing by Jay-Z and I forget who the other guy is? You know that song? Yeah, you're giving up. Where are you going? Are you? Oh, he's going to the. Okay, Michael Martineau, Texas Mike. He's taking the bathroom key, and he's going to the. Oh, that's a good idea. Jenny suggests Paradise by the Dashboard Light by Meatloaf. Texas Mike has gone to the restroom, so I think he's gone to the bathroom to think about what song he'd like to sing with me. He seems reluctant to do it, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a sensitive guy. Obviously, I did win the award for nicest host, and I'm a little hurt that he doesn't seem to want to sing with me. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little hurt. I mean, I'm not going to, just start crying like a certain other individual we all know did once on the air. Well, more than once, actually. But I'm a little hurt. I thought it'd be a nice thing. He might still be bitter about the whole thing with the thermometer. But we have to do that to just make sure everything's cool. No pun intended. Mike Pelopita says he's going to warm up. That could be. He's going to the men's room to warm up his golden throat that I have no doubt that he has. I've never actually heard him sing. Maybe that's what it is. You know what it probably is? He's intimidated because he knows that I have a golden throat, and he's concerned about not being able to harmonize properly with me. Brian... Separate Lives by Phil Collins. Brian Mackey suggests that. Who does he sing that with? I feel like I definitely know the song, yet for some reason I can't quite place it. Separate Lives by Phil Collins. Let's see here. I feel like I definitely know the song. Because I recognize the title. And I usually have an excellent memory for these things. Phil Collins, Separate Lives. Marilyn Martin? Who the hell's Marilyn Martin? Duet with Marilyn Martin. I don't know who Marilyn Martin is. But apparently she did a duet with she did a duet with Phil Collins. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I totally remember this. I have no idea who this Marilyn Martin is, though. Mike Pelopita suggests, how about Feel Like Making Love, the Bad Company song? Well, that's not a duet. Oh, what a depressing song. I don't want to sing that anyway. No offense, Brian Mackey. I appreciate the suggestion, but my goodness, that's just depressing. Well, we should, let's see. We have about 30 minutes left in the show. We got to do something fun. Let's do something fun. After hearing the opening chords of Separate Lives by Phil Collins and Marilyn Martin, I'm all depressed now. Texas Mike is returning. Don't worry, Texas Mike. We don't have to sing. I know you weren't prepared for that. I understand.
Yeah, I was not. I'm more of a solo guy anyway, so.
Oh, I didn't know that. Do you want to sing something solo for us?
Or I like to do karaoke. Solo.
I understand.
Yeah.
I hope I wasn't hurtful with my comments about karaoke. I'm sure when you do it, it's great.
I try my best to kill it, so.
It's just when most people do it, they're drunk and awful. Are there any videos online of you doing karaoke?
Quite a few.
Are there really?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. On YouTube?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. There's one of me last year with my softball team on our spring break trip. One night we were in we had just played in right across the street from our hotel. There's a Vietnamese restaurant called Pho Today. So we went over there, had some food, and they had we're in our own special room, and we could reserve the karaoke machine. So
oh wow, so you're really into it. You're like you're hardcore. You're like a pro.
Yeah, I do that, and then occasionally when I go out here in Manchester, my old establishment usually has it Thursday and Fridays night. So
okay.
Yeah. So
at the farm.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So can I find that on YouTube? Like, what would I look under?
I'm gonna send you the links now.
Oh, okay. Well, very good. While he does that, there is something on rightwingwatch.org. We had addressed this the other day. Jim Baker has been trying to sell his silver solution. If you're not familiar with this, it's some sort of concoction that you can use to defeat the coronavirus, according to Jim Baker. God, I think, had spoken to him and offered the secret formula, to save humanity or something. Because apparently now it's official. Of course, we are in the end times with everyone getting sick. It says here, Jim Baker decries warfare that has forced him to stop lying about his silver solution. Yes, because the government stepped in and said, you're committing fraud, and that's not really allowed. The whole fraud thing, telling people this and making these claims. Here's a clip.
Certain government agencies have claimed that some statements made by guests on this show could have potentially been interpreted to give the wrong impression about silver solutions, treating or curing COVID-19. While I strongly disagree with the idea that these statements were in context or in any way misleading, I feel I have a biblical duty to lead with knowledge, understanding. Jeremiah 3:15, God's word tells us to test everything, keep what is good, and stay away from anything that is evil. 1 Thessalonians 5:19 through 22, stay away even from the appearance of evil. In response to the claims of these governmental agencies, and after prayerful thought, we have suspended offering silver solutions, wonderful products that for a decade, we have sent out these products. This time to avoid even the appearance that our guest comments might mislead any of our partners. My heart is broken. We know this is an inconvenience for those of you, our partners, who regularly use the silver sauce solution and have done so for decades. Please be patient with us as we work through this process. We believe this is the right step. This coronavirus is a serious disease with all that is going on in the world. Please listen to the directions of the public health officials, our President of the United States. Pray without ceasing and trust in God. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. We appreciate
This is Jim Baker trying to stay out of, he doesn't want to go back to prison.
it so very, very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that and clarifying the
Thank you for keeping us all out of prison.
statements. And thank
It
you for
is tore
believing
up
in us.
a lot of our viewers in our ministries. Our phones have jammed.
And my bank account is suffering because I'm not getting money for this fake product anymore.
I want to tell you 99 and 999 tenths people have been very kind. They're very, very kind.
Yes.
And I am so heartbroken. It's just like there's warfare.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's ever been warfare in this country, it's right now.
Wow, yes. All right. Are you all right with me playing this, Texas Mike?
Yes, I am.
All right, so I'm going to play this. So this is, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is Texas Mike singing Callin' Baton Rouge, or Calling Baton Rouge. Is it calling or calling?
Either or.
By Garth Brooks. And this is just from a couple days ago.
Or a couple weeks ago.
Okay, because it's I'm sorry. I misread the month. It's 1/23/2020. Okay, here we go.
That wasn't our recording.
I see the head going, getting into it. Texas Mike.
Such segregation, a woman and a child. Such strange temptations, I've left around on that room. And we played out last night and my mind, except a scene of two, and place we could find. I see a trackside sign, says the same to me. I need a cup of coffee and a cup of coffee, call that a move.
Crowd's into it. Very nice. We're getting a call, so we'll grab that. But I just subscribed to your YouTube channel there, Texas Mike.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes, of course. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, it's Ridley.
Dave Ridley of the Ridley Report. How are you?
Oh, not bad.
What is on your mind today, sir?
Well, I wanted to object to something that I knew would happen, and this is one of those cases where, again, the government's helping the plague. The NHPR is reporting that New Hampshire is joining 32 other states in asking online retailers to crack down on price gouging. Now, when they do that, they say you can't charge, $10 for a bottle of hand sanitizer or whatever. That's what creates shortages.
Yeah, Amazon in particular, I know. Well, some of this is self-policed because Amazon, and I have some experience with Amazon just because of the business that I'm in. Like, they don't allow any kind of price gouging. They don't catch everybody right away, but if they catch you, they actually suspend you from their platform. And I think eBay does something similar, although I'm not sure. But Amazon is really aggressive about it. Like, they'll suspend you. But what is this? But I don't know about this other thing. So there's some sort of compact among the states calling on online retailers to not price gouge. I'm a little unclear.
It just says, again, New Hampshire is joining 32 other states in asking online retailers to crack down on price gouging. That's the quote from NHPR.
Well, when they say that, so I guess they mean
if you're trying to resell it.
Yeah. Like Amazon has a lot of millions actually of third-party sellers who go on their sites and who go on Amazon and sell things. But
it is just the most ridiculous idiocracy behavior that I've seen over the last week, where there's a shortage on something, so you ban selling it. That's a great way to help the shortage, isn't it?
Well, they're not banning selling it. They're just saying you can't sell it.
They are, actually. I think they did before. I don't know what they're doing now, but my understanding is, as of a few days ago, they were banning it completely, all sales of hand sanitizer.
Banning what? Banning it on Amazon?
Yes. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was my understanding.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. I thought they just weren't allowing price gouging. But
yeah, my understanding was that both they and eBay had done that. The dark web's doing fine now, though. It's a great time to learn the dark web, and I guess people are just pouring into the dark web and using cryptocurrency to buy stuff. You can get these things at reasonable prices, like hand sanitizer and face masks, from what I understand, on the dark web, where the government's not jumping in and helping the plague.
Well, I just wonder, though, in the case of Amazon, is no one selling hand sanitizer on there now, or is it just that I'm going to go to the site right now, or is it just that?
You should just probably check. Because, like I said, I'm not sure about that. I did hear that, or at least that's my understanding.
Because I can imagine
the thing. What's happening? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I can imagine a scenario. Oh yeah, there's hand sanitizer on Amazon, but I can imagine a scenario where at some point there might have come a point where there wasn't much available, because everybody who was charging a lot for it was getting kicked off. Oh, there's tons of hand sanitizer available on Amazon right now. Yeah.
So what happens is people, when something really disruptive happens, you have this thing called price discovery, right? Anyone who's studied economics understands this. And if there's a new world that's born tomorrow, by some catastrophe or whatnot, the value of everything changes. Your cell phone value might dramatically go down if the power's off for a long time, and the value of rounds of ammunition goes way up. It's like that. It's like that. But there's a cap on that value of ammunition. How much? Maybe ammo is only worth $2 a round instead of $10 a round. Someone tries to charge $10 a round, and someone else comes along and undercuts them and starts bringing the price into some kind of equilibrium. But you got to let the market play this stuff out.
Brian Mackey made a comment. He says, check the shipping prices, Matt Connarton. Yeah, some of them are free shipping. Looks like the shipping prices are pretty much in line with what I'm looking at. But Brian's comment there, yeah, most of these are actually free shipping. But Brian's comment is interesting because one phenomenon, and you actually, this you see more on eBay in my experience than Amazon, is someone will sell something at a very low price, and but then they'll charge an exorbitant amount for the shipping, which helps them circumvent some of the eBay fees, which eBay will actually suspend you for if you do that. But so Dave, just so I'm clear on the argument that you're making, so you don't want the government involved in this because your belief is people should be able to charge whatever they want based on the market forces in play, correct?
Well, I mean, in theory, the government can do anything it wants as far as I'm concerned, as long as it's not committing some act of aggression. But unfortunately, everything it does is an act of aggression because it's taxing you to do everything it does, and you didn't agree to be taxed. So these things can be done as long as there's no act of aggression. I know I'm getting a little off topic, but you asked.
No, you're not off topic at all. I mean, that's because I was curious to know your thoughts about that. And, we're in such an unprecedented moment, though. I mean, this is a serious national health crisis. And, I'm far less libertarian than you are anyway. So I'm going to have a different perspective on this. But I just feel like, if people can't get hand sanitizer because people are charging exorbitant amounts of money for it, I really don't mind the government stepping in and saying, because people are being ridiculous. Like the hoarding of toilet paper is so bizarre, and.
But that's why we need the market to pull that toilet paper out of their houses, right? If people are allowed to pay $10, a roll for toilet paper, then those people who bought that toilet paper are going to sell it at $10. And then someone's going to come along and maybe we could do $9, and it will start to level out.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. But in the meantime, people need toilet paper and can't necessarily wait for that to work itself out. Like
I don't know. I mean, I don't. If you're in that position, this is such a slow building crisis. There was so much time to prepare. If you don't have some reason why it was physically impossible for you to buy toilet paper, then you have yourself to answer to.
Yeah, but then we're in a situation where you've got reasonable people who reasonably stocked up and not expecting there to be these individuals who went crazy and decided they need to buy like you know, an entire carload of toilet paper, and now people can't get it. It's frustrating. But now,
I don't know.
But what
people, whenever something relatively, you know, something that hasn't happened for a little while happens, people think, oh my God. But this is normal. It's just like when Bitcoin came along, everybody thought, oh my God, the market is no, it's the market just Bitcoin market, the crypto market just behaves like a market. It's just normal. They just haven't seen a real market in such a long time. And it's the same way with this crisis. This is just normal. This is normal for this stuff to happen in a disaster of almost any kind. People go buy toilet paper. That's the first thing that goes off the shelves. It always is. There's a plague every once in a while on humanity. Everything that's happening is fairly normal in the long-term scheme of things.
On this scale, though?
Yeah,
not in our lifetimes.
In 1918, there were many before that have just been forgotten.
But not in our lifetimes, Dave. I mean, this is there's nothing normal about this. This is you know, and I want the government to protect us. I think that's one of the things that we can agree government is for, right? And I think,
well, as long as it's not committing an act of aggression like taxation.
Well, well, that's something you and I disagree on, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's necessary for all these states to be putting pressure on online retailers to ban price gouging. So maybe that's an act of aggression in a sense when government does something it doesn't actually need to do, because it seems like this is being self-policed. Amazon and eBay, which are the two primary really successful sites as far as allowing third-party sellers to participate on their platform, they already deal with it. You know, like I said, Amazon is extremely aggressive about price gouging, and eBay I think is less aggressive, but they police that as well. So,
the price gouging is just another word for the market trying to find trying to do price discovery.
Yeah. But we are in a time of national emergency, so
that is the most important time to speak out.
Sure. All right. Well, anything? So, Dave, I mean, let me ask you this: do you to kind of broaden out the topic a little bit, because I wanted to ask you this yesterday and we really didn't have time because I had a guest who was calling. I mean, do you object in the larger sense to what the government's doing as far as banning large gatherings and things like that? I mean, are these all acts of aggression in your view?
Well, doing stuff to help keep people from gathering in groups of 10 or more, I'm not necessarily against that. There may be a case to be made for that.
Okay.
It'd be better if it weren't funded with taxation. But the problem is going to be if we get to the point where the real problem would be if they get to the point where they're again banning things, just like with these gouging rules, banning things and prosecuting people for doing things that are actually trying to feed the needs, even if they're charging a lot of money. Hand sanitizer can save lives, and it's better to save a life for $20 than to save, no lives because you're not allowed to charge $20 or something like that. So if they start doing something where, like with these shelter-in-place type things that some of the other states are doing, the way they're written, it looks like you'd actually be banned from going to an intersection and protesting by yourself and walking there and endangering nobody, reducing actually all the risks because you're not indoors with your germs and everyone else's germs. That and also trade between individuals, those appear to be at risk based on my read of these executive orders and stuff like that. So that's where, again, that's when they start doing that, then they're helping the plague.
Yeah, I don't feel like, though, and I haven't experienced it because I haven't done any kind of shelter in place here, but from what I've seen and read, these shelter in place, for one thing, they're not as severe as they sound, because you hear shelter in place or you hear a term like lockdown and you think, oh my God, I can't leave my home. When in reality, like when they first did this in California, I was curious and I looked it up, and it turns out there's like a ton of exceptions. It's a very long list. It's like, and they're not I don't know if they are now, but they weren't actually. It's almost like there's no enforcement mechanism, really, even with the shelter in place. There's nobody out there giving fines to people who are violating it. But then again, there's very few people violating it. And I think it's the same in New York and in Boston. And maybe people are too afraid to violate it. But there is some place, I forget where it is, but there's some place where they are actually starting to institute fines. Geez, it might be in Boston, where you get fined like $1,000 if you're just flagrantly violating the rules. But they seem to be, overall, my sense is that where they're doing this, they're really making an effort to not have it be a punitive thing. To say, look, this isn't optional. We really want you to do this, but we're not going to throw you in jail, if you get caught maybe going out for some reason that we've deemed as not essential. You know what I mean? I feel like they're trying to do it in a way where we don't feel like the boot of government is on our throats, forcing us to do this, but they're really, really trying to get us to do this because it is ultimately in the public good. And it's the only way we're going to get through this is through social distancing.
I don't know. They're doing some wildly scary things. Again, things that will help the plague. They're trying to figure out ways to arrest more people without even going through the judicial process. The Justice Department, I'm not clear on all the details.
Yeah.
But they're trying to just bypass judges and just have indefinite detention related to coronavirus. And again, that's another way the government is helping the plague because they're keeping all these people in this confined space because they had some weed. Or they saw a prostitute or something like that. Those people need to all be let out.
Oh, I agree there. Yeah, that's something where you and I are in total agreement. As you know,
and so are the rioters in Colombia who just killed 35 people to try and defend their freedom to be out in the open air during a plague.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Did that just happen? Did that just happen today?
It was a prison in Colombia. Yeah.
Oh, in a prison. Oh, okay. Well, no, but I agree with you. As you know, I oppose the drug war, and I oppose any kind of locking people up for anything, any kind of quote unquote, crime that's consensual, and we shouldn't be putting people in jail for prostitution and things like that, gambling, or any of that. So I'm with you there. But I don't think anyone's going to jail for violating a shelter-in-place order that I've seen.
Well, it's only been 4 days, roughly, since the first one, hasn't it?
Well, that is true. Well, no, it's been longer than that. California, I think it's been a couple of weeks now. But you're right. We're not that far into it, so maybe I'm a little overly optimistic about it. Maybe something will break loose. But I hope not. And I don't get the sense that it will, Dave. I feel like, and I've been saying this on the show, I feel like the general vibe overall in the country could be summed up as, wow, this really, really, really sucks, but we're going to get through it. But we just got to do what we got to do to get through it, but we're going to get through it. I feel like people overall are calm and positive and optimistic for now. Hopefully that holds.
Yeah, I think the world is reacting more calmly than I would have expected to this. Some people say it's all a panic, but no, I think panic is what if someone's not raising their voice, or their heart rate's not doubled or something like that.
Right.
But just because they're buying a lot of stuff, that's not panic. And mostly we're not seeing panic. That's good. That's great.
Yeah. I've been pleasantly surprised because if someone had told me that this was coming, honestly. Because historically, very often when people don't know what to do, when people are faced with a situation when they don't know what to do, what happens? You see rioting and looting and things like that, right? But there's been none of that. You gave the example of the prison, but I'm saying broadly, there's been none of that. Certainly none of that in the United States.
I don't know. In some ways, though, it just feels like that moment in Babylon 5, where President Clark takes charge. He's going to get the whole world destroyed, but he cuts crime for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm aware of the show. I've never actually seen it, but no, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to get through it. And I don't know. Well, actually, we're almost out of time, Dave. Why don't you give the Ridley Report a plug, and then we'll have to shove off.
RidleyReport.com. I used to ambush interview politicians before that was banned.
Yes. Well, the day will come again where you will be free to do so, my friend, and you do it well. So we look forward to that.
Well, thank you. It's sort of, I mean, it's de facto, it's made impractical. I guess that's the right word for it.
Right. Well, but it's got to do that social distancing, unless you want to yell at a politician from 6 feet away, which might be interesting, actually. I don't know. Anyway, all right, Dave, thank you so much for the call, my friend. Stay well.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, man. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, that was Dave Ridley from the Ridley Report. Let's catch up on the Facebook live chat just quickly before we have to go. Let me scroll up here quite a bit in the last few moments. Brian Mackey said, trust me, we will get to your refunds soon. Just trust me, referring to Jim Baker. Mike Pelopita said he's very good. Mike Pelopita is a top fan, by the way, referring, of course, to our own Texas Mike over here and his karaoke adventures.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Yes, very nice. Archie Frangudis joins us in the Facebook live chat. Let's see. Texas Mike, you posted some links there to your other videos in the Facebook live chat. Very good. Archie said, listening for a while, Matt. Thank you, Archie. Appreciate that. Let's see. Robert Dion had to check out. But Rob's newest edition of Through the Stage Door is up at WMNHradio.org. You can check that out. Let's see. Just want to make sure we don't miss anybody here today. Jenny commented, nothing about this is normal. It has never happened before, referring to Dave Ridley's comments about, well, this is what normally happens. Well, we've never experienced anything like this in our lifetimes. So there really is no normal. Brian Mackey says, yeah, but that's not their motivation. Greed is the motivation, not concern. Archie Frangudis says, this man is from another planet. See you later, Matt. Referring, I believe, to Dave Ridley. I like Dave Ridley. We don't agree on everything, obviously, but I like Dave. Midas says, easy to criticize and not have a solution to the problem. I believe referring to Dave Ridley. Rhonda Favero joins us in the Facebook live chat. Brian Mackey says, I have to wonder where Dave is getting his info. Sounds like pure gossip. And DJ Midas says, liberty is earned. Take over a plot of land and defend it if you don't want to do your part to support the land that you're occupying, which has already been claimed by your overlords. That's a great comment, Midas. By the way, Midas has a show here on WMNH, Late Night Delight, which you can hear every Saturday and Sunday night beginning at 12 midnight. And Texas Mike, always wonderful to see you, my friend.
Always nice to see you. And the Trump press conference has just started.
Oh, very good. I'll have to stream it while I upload the show. If you missed any part of today's show, it will be up and available in just a few minutes at WMNHradio.org. And make sure you tune in tomorrow. I have a great guest calling in the first hour from New Jersey, Rob Arnaudin from the podcast The Rob and Slim Show, which is very, very funny. Rob's going to call in. We haven't had him on the show in a while, so that will be a lot of fun. And other than that, make sure you check back in the morning, 7 a.m. for the morning show with Peter White, live here from WMNH with a replay from 2 to 4 p.m. And then I will be back live at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And tomorrow's Thursday, which means the weekly Die-On will be live right after me. So lots of great stuff going on here. And if you miss any of the live shows, of course, you can access them at your leisure at WMNHradio.org. And that's it for me for now. We got to get out of here. Thanks again, Mike.
You're welcome.
And talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.